I really thought I had it recording already. By the way, for this question, you can definitely Google how to convert like pounds to kilograms
Yep.
and ounces. So I just want to check, does anybody need more time, or could we end this question a bit sooner? We can just go over the solution. One minute, okay.
Yeah.
Will they be this easy? Oh, sorry.
No, the first few questions of the test are always easy, but then when you get to the last one, then it gets really tough.
Yeah, there's a few in here that I think are pretty awkward to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially considering like you're not supposed to use loops in some of them, but yeah, and other things, but
Yeah, if they tell you not to use loops, don't use loops, because if you use loops, then they'll give you a 0 for that one. So don't do what the questions tell you not to do.
okay. I think that's enough time. So I'll go over the solution now. So in okay, so the first thing we can check if n is 1, and then we'll ask the user for the number of pounds as a floating point number, ask for the number of ounces. Then the way we're converting from pounds and ounces to kilograms is we're saying pounds are, or each pound is 16 ounces. So we're getting the total number of ounces. And then we're multiplying by the ratio from ounces to kilograms. And then this is just like a nice way to format your strings. So you have to put a little f in front of it. And then between curly braces, you can just put your variables. So that's a tip for you. Then we'll check if n is 2. If n's 2, we ask, what's your name? Then we'll ask for the student number. And then we'll just print like the person's name you have. And then we're reusing the Atlantic function to say like a new student number. Does anybody have any questions about this?
Yeah, feel free to turn on your mic and ask any questions you have.
Can you explain the kilograms feature with pounds times 16 ounces? I didn't really get that.
Right. Yeah. So pounds and ounces, 1 pound is 16 ounces. So here we're just calculating the total number of ounces. And then if you Google ounces to kilograms, then you'll get this ratio. So you can just multiply by that at the end. So that's what we're doing here.
Could you have just added the pounds converted to kilograms and the ounces converted to kilograms?
Yeah, that would work too. Like find a ratio for pounds to kilograms and then find a ratio for ounces to kilograms and add it. Yeah, that works too. Yeah. Anything else? Oh yeah, Atlantic was the first question. So Atlantic was this. So if the string was bigger or like equal to 9 characters, then it returns new, and if it's less, then it returns old. So that was part of this question. Yeah, no problem. Okay. Oh, the function in a function. Yeah, sure. So here we're calling Atlantic inside of our southern function. So this is something that's helpful to know, is that, yeah, you can use your functions in other places too. Like the whole point of creating a function is so you can reuse it. So hopefully that, like it's just, that's a thing that you can do.
Yeah, but it's up to you if you want to do that on the test. I posted in the chat. This is another way for you to print out something without using the format, like the F format function.
Yeah. If you wanted to, I don't know, maybe make this easier for yourself, then you could say like old or new, and then this would be equivalent, and you could still run this. Yeah. Okay. okay, what exactly does the f print do? Yeah, it's just another way that Python lets you format your strings. So if like when you call print, it's converting your, like normally calling print on just like, if I did print pounds, is gonna figure out how to represent your, whatever you're printing as a string. And then using like an f string is gonna figure out like how to format all the things between curly brackets. Yeah, you can, if you want, you can like search just Python f strings and you'll find more info about that. Does sig fig matter for the kilogram output for this question? I don't think it matters.
Yeah, if you scroll up a little bit on like
Okay.
the sample runs, yeah, that one. Like the test gives you these sample runs, and if you run your function and it
Oh.
looks like that at the end, then you know that you're right.
Oh, do we have them here?
I think
S2
it was in
runs.
your.
It's in my,
Yeah, there you go. It's the
oh yeah,
that
it
one.
doesn't
Yeah,
round. Yeah.
it doesn't round.
Yeah, dot format's the same thing, yeah. Yeah, with dot format, adding strings together using f strings, whichever one you prefer is good. I'm sure they'll accept all of them. Okay. I'm gonna go to the next question now.
Yeah, let's go to the next question.
Yeah, so question 3, write a function called Pacific that takes in 3 floats, values G1, G2, and G3. They are grades. This function determines if the student did well on a test. It returns true if there are 3 passes and at least 1 A. Otherwise return false. A grade is considered pass when it is at least 50. A grade is considered an A. And a passing grade if it is at least 80. Yeah, okay, I think the wording is a bit messed up. I think it should just say an A is at least 80 and a pass is at least 50.
Yeah, so let me go over the sample, like the sample run. If you look at the first one, it's a Pacific 40, 50, 50 returns false because there is one failing grade, right? 40 is a failing grade, so that's why it's returning false. For the second one, it also returns false because there has to be an A, right? The question says that there has to be at least 1 A, but then it's all 50, so there's no A. That's why it returns false. The third one returns false for the same reason. The fourth one returns true because there is an A, right? So just look at the sample solution and that will basically give you the hint.
Yeah. Okay, somebody asked, they said they came late, so I'll send the, yeah, you know what, I'll send this. So the code is available. Oh wait, that's here. Everybody. Yeah, so I'll send the code as well. Oh, I think somebody is. Yeah, sorry. Okay. Yeah, so I just sent the code. If for some reason I'm showing like the timer or whatever, you can look there and see it. Yeah, and we're just going through the questions and then giving you some time to solve them and then coming back and showing the solutions.
Should we start a timer?
Yeah, let's start a timer. I'll do another. Yeah, let's just do 5 minutes for this one.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
Wait, sorry, I just have a really quick question, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So for example, I know the question isn't asking, but like, is there a way that we can adjust the variables and the parameters? Because I know in Java, what you can do is like, let's say you have G1 and then they might have inputted, for example, like a string. Could
Yeah.
you set those initial parameters to like, for example, calling them floats so that when they input
Oh.
a specific parameter that like they get adjusted accordingly or like,
Yeah. So Python doesn't have like a type system like this. For the in the problem, for the most part, you can just make an assumption. And worst case, like write down your assumption in the comments. and then go with it. And yeah, just assume that they're floats. If you want some more info on this, you can look up Python type hints, and those don't really force people to use floats, but they'll tell people they should use floats. And that would look like this. So
Yeah,
you
someone in the
could,
chat said a really good point. If you look in the doc string is basically like the red comments
yeah,
just below that method. Yeah, they say float for float, right? So they will give you floats. They won't give you strings. So you don't have to worry about the type conversion. Just focus
Yeah,
on
yeah.
getting the solution. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just out of like curiosity. I was wondering because in Java, which is the programming language I learned in high school, we
Yeah.
could adjust like the parameters of a function. And I was just wondering if that was the same case with what's it called, Python.
yeah. Yeah, if you want to look more into it, search up type hints, and there's also a typing library that Python has. I can link them in the chat. But you won't learn about them in this course. Like, it's just for your own sake if you want to.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, if you guys want some more extra materials to review for Python, I have a YouTube channel where I make Python tutorials. So I'll post it in the chat.
We have about 1 minute and 30 seconds left.
Wait, sorry. I just have a question about the test. Do we
Yeah,
have
go
to do
ahead.
doc strings in the test or no?
No, you don't have to.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, actually, somebody else said in the chat that you need to use the type contract. Honestly, just yeah, pay attention to what she asks on the test. Because I mean, I'm not taking the class, right? So I don't know.
I just have a question if you don't mind.
Yep.
I just noticed that these questions don't have loops, like they don't ask for creating loops and stuff.
Right.
We won't have that for our test.
I think in the second part,
That's in
there
part
might be
2.
loops.
That's in part 2.
Yeah.
This is only part 1. There's also part 2.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
we're gonna do some loops today too. Okay, so my timer went. Quack, are you explaining this one? I thought.
Yeah,
let
I
me
mean,
just-
if you want to.
Yeah, sure. Let me just copy it into the.
Yeah, so you can just do like a one-liner and that would be it. So basically like you are returning a Boolean. So the first one, it's like the grade 1 is larger than 50 and grade 2 is larger than 50 and grade 3 is larger than 50. Basically, you're saying that all of the grades are pass, right? It's greater than 50 means it pass. And at least one of the grades is greater than 80. So the second condition is and the grade 1 is larger than 80 or grade 2 is larger than 80 or grade 3 is larger than 80. That's basically saying that one of the grades is larger than 80 or an A, right? So that's basically the solution right there.
Yeah, so I just to make it a little easier to read, if you wanted to think about it, to check if the marks are all passing, you could have one condition like this, and then if you wanted to check there's at least one A, then you can separate it like this and then check that both of them are true.
Yep, that's
Yeah,
the
that's the
the
whole
entire
answer.
answer. Yeah.
G1 or G2. Oh, okay. So I got one message.
Mhm.
I think, yeah. So I'll just
Yeah, you can also use if statements if you want.
I'll just copy paste what they wrote. So somebody said that they wrote this. This isn't. I don't think this works properly. I think just like the order of operations gets messed up here, and it won't work. So you have to be a little bit careful. So this might be checking like doing an OR with two floats, and I'm not really sure what Python does with that. So if you wanted to try running this, you might get like it might
No,
make a little
I
bit more
think
sense.
the one in the comment is not correct.
Yeah, it's not correct, but I'm not sure exactly what it does at all. It's like this is
Okay,
gonna do something weird.
I think what it's doing is it's saying is G1 like true or G2 is true or G3 is true, right? And it's well,
so
that's why
this
A
is
is
so-
always gonna be true.
So, yeah,
Yeah. So that's not the correct way to solve this question.
yeah. So this is gonna give you some weird outputs if you do it like this.
We have another.
Oh, and I got one. Okay, this one's instructive. Yeah, thank you for sending this one too. So I got this one was in chat as well. So this is something that's quite common when people first learn to code. If you ever see yourself doing something like this, check if you can just return the result of this, because this code and just returning this are the same thing. So if you want to simplify how your programs look, you can avoid doing this, because the result of this is a Boolean. I'm not sure if you would lose points doing this, but yeah, like just for the future, looking at
Do you want to see a cool thing?
sure.
Yes, sure, one.
You sure?
Sure, one.
Oh, sorry, I'm gonna mute this person. Okay, are there any other questions?
Yep, in the chat. What about return G1 plus G2 plus G3 is greater than 180? That works. I mean, because you're saying
No. No, because the question is all of them have to be over like at least 50. Not the average has to be at least 50, which I think is what that is doing. Yeah.
no, but I mean like it's 50 plus 80, right? The grade has to be like it has to have. Oh wait, no, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right, let's go to the next question. Thank you guys for submitting your solutions. That was good. Okay.
Yeah,
I
I'll
think
do question 4. I'll read it. So question 4 is a little bit harder. It says write a function called artic that takes an integer n that is 6 integer or 6 digits or 4 digits. So it can either be 6 digits or 4 digits. Return true if this integer is a palindrome. And a palindrome is a number or string such that when you reverse it, it is the same as the original. And no, you cannot convert into a string. So you have to use numbers. 0 marked if you use strings. This is a question test, and it says you cannot use strings. So let's take a look at the first sample run. So artic 1001, this is true because if you take the number 1001 and you reverse it, no slicing, no, sorry. Because when you slice it, you're basically saying that's a string, right? You can't really slice a number. But 1001, if you reverse it, it is the same as the number that you pass in. So 1001, that's why it's true. The second one, 100001 is also true because it's 6 digits, and when you reverse it, it is the same, right? So that's why it returns true. And yes, it's only one in. Oh no, it could be 1, 2, 3, 4. It could be 1, 2, 3, 4, like the input. Like if you feed it 1, 2, 3, 4, the function should return false. Let's take a look at the third sample run. So 101001. This is not a palindrome, so that's why it's a false. And the last sample run 10101. This is a 5 digit, so it's not 4 or 6. So that's why you just return false.
yeah. Somebody asked if it's only ones and zeros. I don't think it is. I don't think the question was supposed to be like that, but all the examples happen to have ones and zeros. But try and make it so it works with any digits, any base 10 digits. You can't use indexing for this one because I think you can't use strings.
Yeah, indexing is strings, so no.
Oh, yeah,
I think you should
it's
start the timer.
Oh yeah, I'll just start it a minute late, but I was gonna say, yeah, I think the question is worded a bit confusing just because it asks if it's a number or a string, but we're only doing numbers. Like it's
Yeah.
just explaining what a pattern is, or a palindrome is. So it says number or string, but we're only using numbers, and you can't index a number. And
No, you cannot use loops.
You can't
cannot
use loops. Yeah, I'm really not a fan of this question. We're covering it because it was on last year's test, but
Yep, it was on last year's test. Yeah, I did this question last year. It was a hard question. Let's do 10 on the timer.
I'm gonna do 5, and then we can ask if people need more time.
Yeah.
Put it back to the question. If you want, you can just print. But I think in most cases you should use return. Yeah. For the purpose of this workshop, don't worry about it. But on the test, just pay attention to the wording. I think as a hint for this question, it's perfectly reasonable if you hard code it, because it tells you if it's only 6 or 4 digits. So, and you're not allowed to use loops or anything. So, yeah. Yeah, there's no loops for this question. Yeah. Yeah, pretty unfortunate for sure. That's why I said I'm not a big fan of this question, but we're covering it just for the sake of covering it. All right, the time ran out. Do people want more time for this question, or should I go over the solution? Or should we go over the solution? More time? More time. Okay, yeah, yeah. I'll do like 2 minutes and then check again. Let's go to 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Try that.
Should we give some hints?
I'm not sure. I don't know what a good hint is for this. Do you have one?
Yeah, I'll type in the chat.
Okay.
Use modulus division and floor division. That's the only way to solve this
Okay.
question.
What if you show how to like get the first digit or get the
Yeah,
like
so use
sixth
the
digit?
log and try to get the first digit and then change up the formula a bit and then you get the second digit. What is floor division? So
floor division's 2 slashes.
it's so let's say if you 5 divide 2,
Yeah.
that's gonna give you 2 because it's gonna divide and round down. So integer division is divide and then round down.
Yeah, my advice is try and figure out how you can calculate like the 6th digit and then like how you can get every digit after that and then like just hard code an if statement. That's most of the solution. Okay, the second timer went. I could do more time. Again, let me know if you guys want to see the solution now or there's 2 10s. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah. Okay, let's just go to the solution because
Yeah,
this
I'll share
problem
my
is
screen.
just. Okay, yeah, you want to share screens for this one?
Yep,
Oh,
yep.
are you sure? I have it here. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But then we have to like show them how to get the second digit using like an IDE or something. I think you could do it on your screen as well, right?
Sorry, what? Oh, how to get like the.
Yeah,
Well, we can just
how
copy
to
paste
get
one of
the-
these.
Yes, yes. I
Okay.
remember you said to use the second digit, like N2 instead of N1, because it's like
Well-
it's less confusing if you try to get the second digit first and then get the first digit later.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Yeah, people got // Yeah, yeah. People use integer division and modulus and got a solution.
That's great.
Okay. Wait. Okay, Kwok, do you want to go through this one or?
Yes. But then I would like to use IDLE to show how I get the
Idle?
number.
Oh, okay. I can.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can
if you just
copy
paste it in there.
paste.
No, let's do like 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 or something instead of using 5,000.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Okay.
Let's print N1. Yep. So if you take a look at this solution right now, like let's say I give you 1 2 3 4, right? It's 4 digits. So to find the first digit, you take N, you mod 10,000 because that's 4 zeros, like it has 4 digits, right? So that's why you do 4 zeros at the end. And then you integer division by 1,000, right? So that's basically the formula. That's a formula to get it. Yeah. So let's do 1 2 3 4 mod 10,000 first, so they can see like the small parts.
10,000. Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Let's
So
do 1 2 3 4 mod 10,000 first.
okay. Well, I'll show this. So if you wanted to keep the pattern, so getting the 4th digit, you do modulus 10 and then floor divide by like one more thing. So in this case, it doesn't really do anything. But now if I wanted to get N3, then I can just keep on extending it. And so if you use this and just hard code something, you'll get the solution. That's why I say this is like a bad problem. But
yeah, it is a bad problem. But then they gave it to us last year.
oh yeah. Wait, they gave you 3 marks for it? Like even if you didn't
No,
get
no,
it?
no, no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you just got it on the test. Okay, I see.
Yep, I passed this test.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I survived.
Oh, how did we get the length? Oh
Yep.
yeah.
So the length, just use that formula. That's the formula to get the length of like a sequence of like numbers. Or if you take a look at the second solution, I think I sent it to you. It also has a second way to get the length.
Yeah, you could also do like, so if you wanted to check that the length is 4, you could do like n is greater than this and n is less than what is it, 999 or 10,000?
Yep, that's also one more way to do it.
Yeah, yeah, so this would check that it's a four-digit number. Yeah, some people did this as well. Doing it with logarithms is tough.
You could do like the absolute value. I'm typing in the chat right now.
Abs.
So the numbers won't be negative.
Oh,
Yeah, but then in the question it says to give you positive numbers, right? So don't worry too much
right.
if it's like outside of the scope, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, so something like this would also work. Okay, let's go to part 2. So,
Part two,
okay.
you guys can use lists and for loops, so it's much better in part 2.
Yeah, it still says you can't use the replace method from the string module. You can't use sets, dictionaries, global variables, or the break keyword.
No, part 2 is all about lists.
Part 2, you can use lists and loops. Lists definitely aren't on the midterm tomorrow. Any loops though?
Well, if there are loops, then
Okay,
this is a good preparation.
Wait, so you guys know about slicing, but okay. Yeah, I know some of the problems here, like use list and slicing. Yeah. Oh, lists on the last lecture.
Yeah, you guys learned list on the last lecture, so use this chance to practice, guys.
Yeah. Just we'll just use it to practice.
I mean, who knows? What if it's on the test tomorrow, right? Like, can't be 100% sure. So let's do it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll explain question 1. So write a function that returns a new list where for every pair of consecutive elements, if both are odd or both are even, then the sum of the 2 elements is added to the new list. Otherwise, 0 is added to the new list. For example, the list 1 and 7, or for the list like 1, 7, 5, 4, 12, 1 and 7 are both odd, so we add their sum to the new list. 7 and 5 are both odd, so we add their sum to the list. 5 and 4, neither are both odd or both even, so we just add a 0 instead. And 4 and 12 are both even, so we add their sum, 16 to the list. So I think the examples are easier to understand for this. The prompt is kind of confusing. So just let us know if there's questions.
Okay, so someone asked, didn't she say only 3 questions on the test tomorrow? Okay, so just think of it like you get review questions from like the past year and past year, you know? So we're using test and test. So this just uses this chance to practice, right?
Do you have a question that just involves strings? Like looping over strings?
Yeah, let me check. Actually, I think the next one is pretty good. It's about strings.
Yeah, go over that instead then.
We could go straight to that one. Okay. All right. Yeah, let's just go straight to question 2 then. All right, let's get. Yeah. So question 2, you're gonna get. This isn't really the description. Okay, so you'll write a function called pattern to stars, and it will take an input string and a pattern, And then the first time it sees the pattern, it will replace it with 1 star. The second time, it will replace it with 2 stars. If it saw it a third time, it would replace it with 3 stars. So you can see the pattern like today, or if the string is today 1 2 3 is 1 2 3 nice 1 2 3 D, and the pattern is 1 2 3, then you can see the first time there's a 1 2 3 is 1 star, the second time 2 stars, third time 3 stars. If it doesn't find the pattern at all, then it should just return the original string. Yeah, and an empty string will also return an empty string. So this one's really good for practicing strings and slicing.
Okay, how much time should we give? Like 10?
10 minutes. There's like one
10
more
minutes.
after this, but it's pretty short. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so the way to solve this is to use string slicing.
Somebody asked, do we get partial marks on the midterm, or are points strictly based on output? Yeah, you have to ask the prof. Oh, the solution we have for this uses while loops. Yeah, I think you should be able to use while loops. Yeah, those weren't listed for this question as like against the rules. So yeah, use a while loop if you want to.
Will these questions and solution be posted afterwards?
Yeah, we're gonna post them. I think the link, actually, I'll post the link now in the server, in the Discord server, and in chat.
Okay, thank you. Is it in the Discord server you guys made?
Yeah, it's in the general chat.
Okay, thank you.
There might be a better place for it. I'm not sure.
It's also in the Zoom chat, right, Daniel?
Yeah, I just put it in Zoom chat as well. It's been 5 minutes, so there's still some time left. But I just want to check that people are still using the time. Otherwise, you can go to the solution. Okay, one person says solutions. Is there anybody who wants more time? Okay. Okay, we can go to the solution. So the solution for this, oops, I have it. So this is the solution. Can you do for I in range S? Yeah, so the way I did the string, or I did the way I wrote the solution, I couldn't use range len of S because I'm telling it to skip. I'm using I to like index where I am in the original string. And sometimes I don't always want to increment by 1 because I found the pattern. So if the pattern's like 3 characters long, then I want to skip 3 places instead of 1. So that's why I used a while loop there. And I just make sure that I is always less than the length of the string. If that answers that. Somebody said, is it possible to see without while loops, since we're not taught while loops yet, and as someone who doesn't code, I don't know what while loops are. Okay, after this, we can come back to this maybe after after we're done the last question. So we have one more question to do, and then maybe you can come up with the solution without a while loop.
Yeah, there's also one more solution. I posted in the chat. This is my version of the solution. It also does the same thing.
Right. Can we solve? Oh wait, actually, a lot of people want the while loop. 2 people want it without the while loop. Oh, okay. They repeat infinitely. Yeah. Or actually, would it be okay if I just like explained while loops quickly? And maybe that's the better solution, because you'll learn them eventually in Vita's course or whoever your prof is. Yeah. Without okay. Okay, I'll just show quickly how while loops work. So while loop, set up PyCharm.
PyCharm, yep, I have a link just for that.
That's the,
So that's the link if you want to get PyCharm.
is there no way to solve it without while? I'd say there's like no easy way to solve it without a while loop. I could be wrong. People may have come up with something, but this question for me is like, it's more natural to use a while loop.
You're here to help us, right?
Yeah, we're here to help. If you have a question. Sorry, somebody. While or break, that's why. Okay, if you didn't, okay. Like I have no clue. Yeah. Okay, then I'll just explain while loops. I'll give a bit more of an explanation. So a while loop, similar to a for loop, it's when you want to repeat a certain piece of code multiple times, and instead of using like a range or like getting the characters in a string, things like that, a while loop is a lot more simple, and all it will do is check a condition, and if the condition is true, it will run. So in this case, if I just had while true and then I'd never used break, then this would just run forever. Break is another keyword in Python you can use to just forcefully stop a loop.
Yeah, but the thing is, in this class, the prof doesn't like you using the break keyword. So could you write the while loop, but then use like I is less than 5?
Yeah. So you could also check like while I is less than 5. So that could be your condition. You could do like, I'm not sure, and you could do and I modulus 0, or wait, equals 0. So that's not work. Oh yeah. If I start I at 1, yeah. So like you could have multiple conditions. This would stop. Yeah, I don't know. You could do all kinds of weird conditions here. Can you break down the method to solve this question? Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I never really got to solving the question. So I'll just show the one with the while loop anyway. So since I'm using a while loop instead of a for loop, I need some variable to keep track of where I am in the string. So I create I. The count, that's going to be how many stars I need to add to the new string. And then I'll have this new string where I'll be adding the characters. And I'm going to check while I is less than the length of the string, just that I doesn't go past. And I have like an error there. This code slices the string from I to like however many characters are in the pattern. So if there's 3 characters and I was 0, this would get like the first 3 characters. And if that matched the pattern, I would add a star to the string for whatever the count is. So if like right now count is 1, it would just add 1 asterisk to the string. Then I'm going to increase the count because next time I want to add 2 stars. And now since I found the pattern, I can skip like the next few characters. It says that the patterns won't overlap, so this is fine to do. Yeah, and I can increase the length of or increase I by however long the pattern is. And otherwise, if it doesn't find the pattern, it will just add the 1 character from the original string, and it will just increase I. Yeah, sorry, we got a little sidetracked on the while loop stuff, but was that a good explanation for?
Daniel, could you also go over my version of the solution? I think that might also help them.
Yeah, sure, I can find it.
Yeah, it's in the chat.
Oh, this is just the inside. Okay. Okay, so you're using the find.
Yeah, I could explain this if you like.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, let's first rename the function to, let's say, pattern to stars number 2 or something. Okay. So first we want the length of P. We want the length of P, and then I'll say like the finish is equal to 0, meaning that we haven't finished finding and replacing the pattern, right? So while finish is equal to 0, or it's the same as while we haven't finished what we're about to do. The first step is we need to find the position of P, right? We want to find the position of the pattern. So we're gonna do I is equal to s dot find P. That is a method that you can use. And if I is not found, so if I is less than 0, in this case we haven't found that pattern, meaning it's not in the string, right? Then we finish. So finish is equal to 1. If we find it, so if we find the pattern, then I is going to be greater than 0, and then we're gonna increment count because we're saying that there is more than 1 pattern repeating, so count gets incremented by 1. And then the last step is s is equal to the beginning to where I is plus the count multiplied by the star, so the number of stars that we're gonna repeat, and then plus the rest of the string. And so you keep repeating that for loop. Then that's basically it.
So yeah, so this solution is finding all the occurrences of the pattern and replacing it on every loop. So this solution will also work. Somebody sent their solution in the chat, so I'm gonna go over that too. And they use the for loop. So I looked at this. I'm about 90% sure it works. Yeah, so you can't go the entire length. Okay. I think, yeah. So the only thing I see that could go wrong here is you probably want to go minus the length of the pattern. Oh wait, actually no, this goes, oh okay, no, my bad. So this is gonna iterate, X will be, so like if the pattern is 3 characters long, then it's gonna be incrementing by 2. So I think I could come up with one where this doesn't work. Maybe not. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's try. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you might have to rename the function.
Well, okay, so pattern to stars 3. Okay, yeah, just to make sure it's using yours. Okay. So this is slightly off. Where I think this went wrong is if you're only checking like every other character, then that could make it go wrong. Like you want to be checking from the start of like every single character in the string, and then you've got to come up with a way to avoid overlap. So this probably works.
Yeah, I tried it. Yeah, I was the one who wrote the program. I tried it with a longer case and it didn't work. So I think I was just testing it with like
things with like 2 characters, and then I accidentally optimized it for only that. So I
Right.
need to like remake it so that it works for everything. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I want to try one more thing actually. One.
This one's supposed to give out a 1 star. Right?
Okay, yeah. This
Yeah.
is what I'm talking about. So since you're going like so the pattern's 3 characters long, so this would be checking like every other index. It's gonna actually miss the 333 because it checks the 1, but then it skips to the next 3 and then it looks here, but it misses. So you have to just, I think even if you just did this, it might work. Okay, so this is kind of why I use the while loop, because it's missing like the overlap somehow. Like there is an issue with overlap here. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what's wrong. But
in my else statement, I also wrote it so that it goes from X to range the length P
Right.
plus X minus 1. I don't know if, I don't think that solves anything, but it's just there. So
yeah,
just make some edits. But thanks for the feedback.
and no problem. Yeah, you're probably like 90% of the way there. There's just like off by 1 error, which is pretty I don't know, they can be tricky sometimes. But yeah, this is good. Thank you for sharing. Okay, we have one more question in the workshop. Oh, actually, wait, do we have 2? Okay, this one uses lists, so I'm gonna skip it. Yeah, we have question 4. Okay. Oh, I don't think I have this one in the notebook. Test 2.
No. Let's go to test 1 and 2 review folder. Oh yeah, that's the one you want.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know why it's not here. It's weird. Let me just double check. I might have it in the solution. Okay. Oh, okay, that's too much. Okay, whatever. Yeah, what? Okay, I'll have to go to like the raw output for this one. So, oh, this has the solution too, doesn't it? Yeah, that has the solution.
No, it does not. It does not. That's only half of the code, and
That's
it's asking
half?
you to write the rest of the code. Yeah, but then I mean, like, since we skipped question 1 and 4, then I don't know if we should be going through this one, because this one asks you to use question 1 and 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think we can just skip this one.
Okay, so I guess we're done all of our questions that we prepared. Yeah, again, I'll link the questions again. They're all
yeah, so does question
that's
3 make sense for you guys? Does question 3 make sense? If it doesn't make sense, then we can draw it on the board and go through each step.
Any tips during the midterm? If you're stuck on a problem, just move on and come back to it later. 3 is kind of confusing.
Yeah, I think 3 is a very difficult question. I think we should draw it out if you want.
Should we do 3? Which one was this again?
Oh no, I think he meant question 2, right? Or question 3? Which one are you asking about?
Oh,
the counting stars. Question 2.
Yeah. Do you want us to go over it again a little bit, or are you just like, we could go over it one more time?
Yeah, we're skipping question 3 because it involves lists. Yeah. Okay, so one tip is use pen and paper. Okay, don't just sit there and just code it from your head, right? Because you have to draw out things. That's what I always do. So if you guys want, I can share my screen and like draw the diagram out, and that's gonna really help make sense.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Using pen and paper, first part of the question about Arctic. Okay.
Let's go to Arctic.
Arctic. Atlantic. Where's
That's question 4, Arctic.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't worry too much about this question. Yeah. it's really just a weird pattern, but you could do some examples. We have these examples here, right? So getting to just the top. Oh, again, I wouldn't worry. I wouldn't really worry about using a log in your solution. If you want to check if a number is between or is 4 digits, you can check if it's greater than 999 or if it's less than 10,000, and that's just like much more simple than using a log. Yeah, have spare pieces of paper. Think out loud. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, and one
For
more
sure.
tip is you can also use Google. Yep, you can. But then
Yeah.
if you use something from Google, then you have to write a comment that you got this piece of code from Google. Yeah, I mean, like for the math floor, math law, like that one, when I did the test, I just copy paste that from Google, and then I put like a comment saying that I got this from Google, and the prof didn't take away marks, so that's okay.
This recording will be in Discord. Oh yeah, maybe I can stop the recording now, actually. That'd be fine. Yeah.